And we are joined today by the wonderfully talented Grace Potter, also Benny Yurko. Thank you guys, and Big Bird, and Big Bird.
Big Bird, lest we forget, Benny Yurko and Big Bird go together.
Who is in the background for this wonderful in-studio performance and interview. Grace, thank you again so much for taking the time
So
joining
awesome
us
to be here.
here on the bridge. I know you had some crazy stuff going on with like airport stuff and everything else.
I almost didn't make it here, y'all.
It speaks volumes to the fact that you still took the time to come in. Like,
Listen,
you did not have to do that. So
it was
thank you.
worth it. I really love coming in and playing music. This is cool for me because it's not a show with the lights and the fog machines and everything. I mean, you're seeing me. This is me. This is airport me. Minus the sparkle boots, this is basically just what you get at the airport.
Which, for those of you who can't see her, it's still gorgeous. It's still Grace Potter. Thank you. So you are in Kansas City tonight, getting ready to take the stage out at the Uptown with Raylan Baxter, who was just in our studios
Isn't he
earlier
awesome?
today. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
And incredibly
very charismatic dude.
Absolutely.
He's kind of like Big Bird, actually. He's like a combination of Big Bird and like Arlo Guthrie or something. I can't explain it.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a thing going on.
Right.
Raylan Baxter. Arlo Guthrie meets Big Bird.
I really
Get
hope,
into it.
and I'm going to put that on his like liner notes whenever I make the thing up for
Totally.
the website. Can I do that? So you've got a brand new release. You're out on tour in support of Midnight,
That's
which,
right.
by the way, is a phenomenal album, and we
Thank
really are loving playing Empty Heart right now. So I guess the question that everybody has, this is your debut album. And so I was wondering, especially after listening to it and doing some research, I had a gender comm professor once say to me that people, in particular women, we go on this journey through life, and culturally we're taught that we should make everyone around us happy, and that it's not until we start to grow that we become more aware of ourselves and we go on these journeys. And
Dude.
it seems to me that, was that what this album was for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a slow process of realizing that over 13 years of being in a band, So it's interesting to say this is my debut record because obviously I've been in a band, the Nocturnals, for many years, and I've been a Nocturnal nurturing this legacy and this sound that I believe in still so thoroughly. But to have broken ground on something different with this one was really jarring, not just for me, but for everybody around me, because it was just like, okay, reset button, what's happening now? And I do feel like it's interesting that you mentioned that this was like where you were doing a gender studies course at the time. Because I've always been really ambivalent about the feminism thing and females and males. And I always said, like, if I was a dude, I would have been Gary Potter in the Nocturnals. Like, it just always would have been there. I wanted to make music from the day I was born. But something about this record definitely turned a corner. And there definitely is certainly a feminine presence on this record, and it was my way of taking ownership over being comfortable in my own skin and not feeling like I owe it to anyone else to please, to take myself and put myself into a new equation that had no parameters based on trying to validate other people, and whether it's the fans or my family or my friends or my bandmates. It's not about discouraging them from doing what they want to do. It's actually just leading by example, by just doing the thing that makes you the happiest.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And
I'm trying.
And it very much comes across on the record.
Yeah, it's been an
really
interesting
does.
process, though. Very, very interesting 2 years,
Well, if you haven't checked it out, brand new album, Midnight, from Grace Potter. Benny very heavily featured on the album. And, of course, still Nocturnals. We still love the Nocturnal.
I mean, seriously, that's the other thing about it is lest we forget that the Nocturnals did play on the record, and it was supposed to be a Nocturnals record. So this is really a testament to the friendship and the family that I was able to be a part of and grow with, that they recognized, when I first sent the music to everybody, the band was kind of like, okay, so what's this? This is not Nocturnals music, and I think that they realized it probably before I did. I don't want to speak for them, but I could say that that the reaction was certainly one of like, okay, this is a really new direction. This isn't just like with The Lion, the Beast, the Beat, we introduced beats when we were writing with Dan Auerbach, and we started working more and with Mark Batson even, we started from like more of a hip hop place. Mm-hmm. But with this record, it wasn't just taking and introducing a new genre into our sound. It was just like reinventing the sound. but they played on the record and are out on the road with me in one form or another, as what I'm referring to as the Magical Midnight Road Show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's a beautifully rotating lineup of musicians I've been wanting to play with for years and years, and people that I'm a fan of, who now I get to get up on stage with and play with.
Well, and it's a huge setup, isn't it? Like 7 people. Yeah. You've got like 3 keyboardists.
Crazy, a lot of keyboards, because I'm a keyboard player, so I got a chance to bring that element into it, which is really fun.
Well, we look forward to it again. That's
lots of singing too.
The good.
Lots of singers. It's like a big American Idol voice audition the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. I in fact, I really employ the audience quite a bit. So if you guys feel so inclined to sing along, I'm not going to get mad at you.
Tonight at the Uptown, and we've talked so much about it. Do you mind if we get a track from it? Awesome.
Absolutely. Let's do that song you've been playing, shall we?
That's good.
Empty Heart.
Let's do a little Empty Heart.
2, 3, and... pour yourself all over me. Somebody broke your back in the day. Now you never ever love, no, you only wanna play. I cry when you do, I cry when you don't. Why won't you tell me what you want with me? Somebody left you black and blue. And we all make promises we can't keep. Yeah, they're paper thin, but oh, they cut so deep. Oh, I cry when you do, I cry when you don't. Why won't you tell me what you want with me? One day we're together, then we're apart. Why won't you let me fill up your empty heart? Why won't you let me fill up your empty heart? Yeah. Oh, fill up your empty heart. 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 I just wanna fill it up, baby. Oh, 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 oh. I cry when you do, I cry when you don't. Why won't you tell me what you want with me? Empty heart. Fill up your empty heart. One day we're together, then we're apart. Why won't you let me fill up your empty heart? Fill up your empty heart. I cry when you do, cry when you don't. Why won't you tell me what you want with me? Yeah. Why won't you let me fill up your empty heart?
Empty Heart.
I love you. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Chills, Grace Potter. Chills, man. That
Chills,
was
baby. I'm
fantastic.
talking about the Dayquils. I'm working it out right now. We all we've had a flu on the bus, so I, of course, was the last one to get it.
With a Z, right? Dayquils.
Dayquils with a Z. Yeah, I did take some Dayquil before I came in here, so if I'm a little bit loopy, I apologize.
We'll take your flu, Grace Potter.
Well,
It would be the
I don't
Grace
wanna
Potter
give you
flu.
the
I'd be
flu.
okay with that. So an interesting thing I read about that track. So you were talking about hip hop and the that whole genre in general, and that how it wasn't as prevalent on this album, but there is a story behind the beat on that song.
There is, in fact, I was writing this song with a pawn shop guitar that, like, the strings. What happens with the guitar is when you out on the road and you need to write a song, you never have that guitar you want that's gonna make everything sound great. You have to it's just gotta be like this wonky, janky guitar that usually you get at a pawn shop. So the one I had it had 4 strings left. So there were supposed to be 6, but we lost one in the shipwreck somewhere, and then another one went, and then there we were, and I think we were in like somewhere in the Midwest in a casino, and the casinos put you up in like really nice suites to try to keep you there as long as you can, while we play the show. And so I actually stayed an extra day to write some music because we had a day off. So I had my pawn shop guitar, I had a beautiful room at this casino, and then I just happened to have these amazing neighbors that were just 24/7 party animals. And the walls were kind of thin. It was, this was a Midwest casino. This was not exactly the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. It was Benny.
It was me.
And he was bumping. He had a lot of ladies, and he was bumping some hip hop. And it was mostly like Usher. And so there was some sweet slow jams, and so you got a lot of and it's like this really electronic beat just booming through the wall. And it wasn't Benny. I don't know who it was, but it was bleeding into the microphones that I was using to record my demos. And at a certain point, I just figured I'd stop fighting it, and I just put it into the track. I was like, I'm just gonna play along to the beat because it's like so loud. There's just no way I'm gonna ignore this. So I ended up working with it, and that's the beauty of music, is that it's everywhere, and you can use and enjoy and be inspired by music in so many different ways. And although it was an unlikely mix for this song, when you hear it on the track, it's really fun and interesting because it's this very gospel, spiritual song about uplifting and sort of opening your heart and finding love in a different and unexpected way, and very much like the drum beat of the song, I found it in a very interesting and unexpected way because those people next door to me would not stop partying.
And that's the interesting thing, though, is that you continue to grow, as I think all artists should. And I was watching something, I think it was that interview with Nick Harcourt, where you were talking about, I know that was an intense, but it was good. It was a great interview. He really is. But you were talking about, you had said how you initially weren't going to be a musician, that you thought, because it was so intrinsic and you were so surrounded by it, you had a really interesting childhood, grew up around musicians and artists, that you felt
easy.
it was like a cop-out.
Yeah, it felt like a cheat, It was like music was like the obvious choice. Like, if my family was in the military or something, I would go into the military, and my family are all artists, and it just felt like I needed to find and learn a technical skill, because I find that music comes very naturally to me, but it's in my nature. It's not something I learned, and I grew up of the belief that you had to work really hard at the thing that becomes your craft. And my sister did. I mean, she went to art school for 4 years and then went and got her master's at RISD for another 4, and she's still paying off her loans. And that seemed like the way to do it. She learned how to be a glass blower, and that's a hard craft, and there's science and chemistry. There's all kinds of really involved technique in it. And yes, she's expressing herself, but there's all these other difficult challenges that you have to overcome in order to get there. Whereas with me, with music, it just felt so natural that it was kind of like my fallback plan, which just sounds so, I don't mean to sound arrogant, because it's certainly, there's nothing fallback about music. It's a very hard road to hoe.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I don't know if you're giving yourself enough credit, because you take that and you're constantly finding new ways to challenge and make it something that you are working at.
Yeah. And that's why I think none of my records ever sound the same, because the real cop out would be if I said, oh, people like it when I sing music that sounds a little bit like the music of the 60s and 70s. I'm so glad I'm bringing comfort to those people. I think I should just do that forever. It's not that there's anything wrong with that music. That's the music that I love too. It's that happened already. It happened then. So I can't pretend that I live in 1968 through 73, which is my favorite time, of course, in music, of course, you know. But I think that it can inform everything I do, but I need to acknowledge that life has moved on, that music has grown, that there is this incredible melting pot going on with pop music, country music, gospel, soul, metal, gypsy punk, you know, anything and everything that I've ever loved, you know, Afrobeat, Bollywood. There's so many styles that I want to incorporate or explore that I, for one, believe that those are the crafts that I'm meant to learn. So within music that comes so naturally, the craft and the skill comes from sort of adopting each one of those genres until I find one that sounds right for a record.
Mm-hmm. You said gypsy punk. Are you a Gogo
Sure
Bordello fan?
Oh my God, I love Gogo Bordello. They were playing after us.
Eugene.
Eugene lives in Burlington, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think
He's
he
a
lives in
Vermonter
Vermont.
for a little.
Definitely, right?
I think he was dating a girl in Vermont.
He was.
I think he lives in Brazil now.
Yeah, the heart wants what it wants. Okay, he's going where his heart leads.
He was indeed.
You know, we were talking about your childhood as well, and it's so funny because it comes naturally to you, but the performance art, you said, what did you say? You said something about your mother had said, like, for a while, I thought this was hilarious, but she had said that they called you, like, the flatliner.
The flatliner.
So
because I just sat still for like 7 years of my life. At the beginning, I just observed. So I wasn't really a loud kid or a demanding child because I was the middle child, and my older sister was very, very commanding presence, and my brother had some learning disabilities and grew up with epilepsy. So I felt the need to be the barometer between the two and sort of find the balance. And in a lot of ways, just staying quiet seemed like the right way to gauge where my place in the world was, you know, and it was really fun to observe. And I certainly, the second I opened my mouth and stopped observing, I did not shut up. It's been a long time since I've
which we were very
been
happy
observing
about.
things again.
Well, the other thing, so you basically learned to play the piano, though, like listening to your dad's movies, like you're a huge Ghostbusters. We're getting close to Halloween.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Dude, best movie ever.
Do you remember any of those songs still?
Sure. Oh my God. Okay,
So the story behind it, though, so people understand.
Magic.
Grace loves the movie Ghostbusters tremendously, and so you made up songs to for every ghost. Is that?
I wrote songs for every ghost. I had theme songs for each ghost. So Slimer had a song. Yeah, and my favorite ghost was the one who floats just a few feet over Dan Aykroyd and allows him to have some midnight pleasure at a certain point. Can I say that on the air?
Midnight comes. Well, you did.
Yeah, midnight. You know,
midnight. It's
whatever. It's a plug for my album. I'm talking about the album now. But either way, I mean that whole movie really became my. I didn't know what New York City was. I grew up in Vermont. I had never been to a city. I didn't know what music was beyond just what I heard, you know, piping through the hammer dulcimer at the craft fair where my mom was selling her bowls. You know, that was my idea of pop music. So when I heard Madonna and Michael Jackson, I was like, and David Bowie, it was like, oh my God. But Ghostbusters was really my intro to like, hey, there's this thing, there's like this boom, boom noise that goes on. I think it's a drum. Like, I want to do that. Can I check that out? So I started playing piano and trying to mimic all those sounds and write songs of my own. But it was all by ear. You know, I never really learned how to read music. I pretended to, though.
Do you know how now?
Nope.
That's awesome.
Still can't read music.
Fantastic.
No, Jimmy had exactly.
Yeah, he didn't know.
And he would
Right.
tune by ear, you
Wes
know.
Montgomery did.
Absolutely. You don't need to. If it flows, rock on.
That's by
Stay
ear.
Puft Marshmallow Man.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
He never knew how to read
What
music.
was that song? Is what
Okay,
I
well,
wanna know.
I mean, it was basically just sounded like this the whole time. Because it was, I loved Marshmallows so much. So I remember that song.
Exploded.
He exploded, and it was like a. I think I wrote it in the bathtub, and I pretended to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I did like shampoo on my head.
Yeah.
'Cause you know, at the end when they're all covered in it, that's
Yeah.
totally shaving
Yeah,
cream.
yeah, definitely.
It's totally shaving cream.
I wish it was marshmallow.
That's ruined for me now. I always thought it was marshmallow.
Oh, I know.
Those jerks.
I want real marshmallow.
We'll get that happening one day.
If I remade Ghostbusters, I would definitely use real marshmallows. quote of the day.
That is a quote of the day.
We actually have marshmallows floating in all over the crowd at our show tonight.
We do.
Actually.
We feed everyone marshmallows.
I'm finding this hard to believe.
I also heard that Lucky Charms is letting out 10 boxes only. They're doing a contest where there are 10 boxes for winners that are going to be just marshmallows in the box.
Are you plugging Lucky Charms right now?
I am.
You should be getting paid for this.
I know I should. Where's General Mills when you need them?
If you just tuned in, we are joined by Grace Potter and Benny Yurko from I can't even
Grace
from the band
Dayquil Potter.
Grace Dayquil Potter, who also
Guys,
plays
I'm
on
going to
her
be
new
fine
album.
and cleared up by tonight.
She's going to be amazing tonight.
I'm
You're
just
fine now.
a little loopy. I came from the airport. I had some Dayquil. I'm feeling a little strange.
Can we get more songs from Midnight?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's do a song. This is one of the first songs that really sort of shifted the genre. This was a game changer for the record. This is a song called Your Girl. Okay. That when I wrote it, I knew this was the direction I wanted to take the record in. And acoustic, it sounds quite different, but the demo itself was like, oh boy, there's all kinds of elements in here that we don't know about. So, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I could make you mine. I'm so tempted to touch you. I'm dying to cross the line. I like your girl too much. I never wanted to meet her, but you let me, so you can't tempt me no more. And you can't have it both ways, baby. So stop making me burn. I wish I never met your girl. I wish I never met your girl, 'cause I really like her. I wish I never met your girl. I wish I never met your girl. And I don't wanna hurt her. I said I wish I never met your girl. Your girl, your girl, your girl. Oh yeah. Ooh. When she's not by your side, you let our bodies touch. And I'm dying to cross the line, but I like your girl too much. Oh yeah. When she was a stranger, it was so easy living in my dream, but now can't shoot down an angel just because I want to be your midnight queen. Now, I wish I never met your girl. I wish I never met your girl, 'cause I really like her. I wish I never met your girl. I wish I never met your girl, and I don't wanna hurt her. I said I wish I never met your girl. Your girl, your girl, your girl. Oh yeah. Ooh. Close my eyes every night, try to dream about you, but I only see her face. Though my heart wants you now, I can live without you. I never talk about you, never have to say, I wish I never met your girl. Ooh, I really like her, and I wish I didn't like your girl. I wish I didn't like your girl, but I do, and I don't wanna hurt her. I said I wish I never met your girl. Your girl, your girl, your girl. Ooh. I said I wish I never met your girl. Your girl, your girl, your girl. Ooh.
Yeah. We'll get back to that one.
Weird groovy version.
Yeah.
That reminded me of like, whoa, listen to the music. Doobie Brothers.
Did you want to do one more song?
Well, sure.
All right. What do you got?
My arm on that one. This is the closing track on the new record. And in the middle of the record, we took a little break when the band, after the band had come in to play and track. I really wanted to make sure that I had everything I needed, and it seemed like there was a ballad missing, you know. And I had a cool song called Ghost Town that I thought was the right thing, but it just felt a little too prairie, you know, dusty, and it didn't really quite fit the bill. I wanted something a little more soul, Al Green, Etta James. And our producer, Eric Valentine, actually brought this to the table as a song that he had written for his father who passed away unexpectedly. And he had never really played it for anybody or tried to get anybody to record it because it was a really personal song. And I recrafted it a bit, and in the midst of writing with him and reworking the song a bit to fit the album, I actually had a loss in my family that was really similar to the circumstances that he had gone through. And it just changed everything. Like everything that seemed like it mattered, you know, because when you're making an album, everything feels so precious and important, and then life happens and you're like, wow, none of this is really the big picture stuff when you think about it. But yet music is there to be a crutch and a healing force for people. So you have to be strong and you have to push through in your own way and find the poetry inside it and find the honesty and the integrity, which is what happened with this song. And I had to go home and be a part of and help to organize the arrangements for a very close family member. And then I came back and we recorded this song. So this was really, it's not just the last song on the album, but it's also the last thing we recorded for the album. And it feels really powerful and important. And it's a compelling message that I really am proud to be able to share. It's called Let You Go. Your mind moved on, but your body didn't know it was time to let go. It took a while to realize that you would never want to be around without your feet on the ground. And you crossed that razor sharp line. There's no soft edges I can find. There's no turning back this time. You're just gone. Now I gotta let you go so it won't hurt no more. If I could let you go, I wouldn't feel sick no more. Sometimes I wonder if we hadn't gotten so close, this wouldn't hurt as much, I suppose. I could survive 100 lonely years if I could get back just a moment. You were standing here, but you crossed that razor sharp line. There's no soft edges I can find. There's no turning back tonight. You're just gone. Now I gotta let you go so it won't hurt no more. If I could let you go, I wouldn't feel sick no more. And I'm trying to find that time when I can smile about all these lonely memories. Maybe eventually, if I could just let you go. Let you go. It doesn't hurt no more. I can let you go. I don't feel sick no more. And now I find with the passing time, I'll be alright with only the memories that you gave to me. I can let you go. I can let you go. I can let you go. I can let you. I could let you go.
Gorgeous, gorgeous track. If you're just joining us, that's Grace Potter in our Bridge Studios. It's from her brand new album, Midnight, which is available now. Also joined by Benny Yurko, who's going to be on stage tonight, I'm assuming, as well, out at the Uptown Theater with Raylan Baxter. And there are some tickets still available to that if you want to check that out. It's been a great time again, Grace.
So much fun every time.
You know,
honestly, like Kansas City's one of my favorite places. By the way, I know there's a tickle in the air today. We got a big game.
Yeah,
so I won't blame anybody who isn't sure if they're going to buy tickets to the show tonight because they just want to see how the game goes. I understand. I'm not mad at it. All right.
You can still check the scores on your phones. There will be probably TVs on at the venue.
I know
just
what's
so
gonna
you
happen.
know.
I'm in touch with cosmic powers, and I can tell you right now, y'all are going to the World Series. Okay, that's all I just said. It's happening, especially if you come to my concert. So there.
All right. That's Grace Potter in our Bridge Studios again. Grace, man, have a good time tonight. It's been a pleasure.
Fun.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you again.
Grace Potter on the Bridge.
Thanks, guys.